Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Yes, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I hope you're all doing well. I know we've kept you waiting this morning, but it's for a very good reason, because I do have with me the best, in my opinion, voice when it comes to Manchester City. It's authentic, it's real, it's raw, it's truthful. It's the one and only Big Steve. How are we, fella? Good to see you, mate.
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Sorry for keeping everyone waiting. We were going down memory lane and talking a bit. You know, we're getting into it, weren't we?
We were having a little chat and a chill mag. But listen, this is probably our third video together this week. We're going to try and make it a bit different. I know the quotes, you know, the winner wins the league. We've all said that this week. So we're going to try and make it a little bit different and do some kind of combined 11. But before we get into that, as you can see, just to the left of Steve's head there, we've got 20% off with free shipping using the promo code, the Kop TV, at the one and only Manscaped. Now, Steve, I was going to ask you, are you Manscaped? But before I even did that, you've already said that this bad boy, the Lawnmower 4.0, is a belter.
No, it's a belter, mate. Listen, when it comes to going down below and the crown jewels, you only use the best, mate. And that is the best. Let me tell you, that is the best.
And trust me, I've tried others. I genuinely, I won't mention the name. I've tried another grooming company. Let's just say blood. That's the only thing I'm going to say on that. But
I'm telling you now, plenty of blood, stinging, not nice.
Stinging. But let me tell you about this one, guys. And again, whoever's going down in those private parts will thank you. Trust me, man or woman, bull toner. Steve, talk to me about this bad boy, because
it's legendary gear, mate. I'm telling you now. Listen, I'm not going to bullshit people and think that I have genuinely bought one because I needed one. And listen, it's the future. I'm telling you, if you want to be sorted down there, mate, you don't want the missus going down there like fucking struggling to find it, innit? So get that on it. You know what I mean? Get the bowling ball effect. Get them polished up and get the toner on there. You even get free boxer shorts in the box.
There you go. You say
they are. See, told you. That proves I've got some.
Could do with a wash then. No, I'm joking. Never even more then. That's just a sample. T-shirt as well. You've obviously got the weed whacker. I mean, I'm not being funny. My missus were out for dinner last night. I said, babe, little bogey there. When she came home, I've got weed whacker on nose. And she loved it. Can't go wrong. So you've got the Lawnmower 4.0. This is the ultimate package, the finest in below the waist grooming. And you know what? Above the waist as well. Doyle used it the other day here after I'd used it. I need
to use mine. I'm going to Madrid Tuesday, so I need to get mine whizzed off.
Massive game for Liverpool and City in the Champions League, which we should talk about as well. And of course, listen, you're going to be back on next week, Steve. We've got the FA Cup semi-final next weekend as well. Tammy Redman already knows this is going to be a boss video. Yes, Big Steve says 6 times. And this is the thing, right? When someone like a Big Steve comes on the channel, it's a respect one, because we've seen you on Lab Bible. We've seen you saying it how it is on City. You've got massive gigs coming up as well. So people know that you're one of the good ones as well. So it's great that our fans on here respect you as well, man. So we love to see it.
I've seen Liverpool fans this week more times than I've seen my own fans.
Yeah, genuinely, honestly.
And on the Liverpool channels, it's mad.
He's done them all. And listen, we love that. And we know you didn't have to come on today, but we respect it. Big up, Big Steve, says Captain Sal. Top of the league until Sunday in brackets. Right. I mean, listen, the title of this video is a line that you said earlier in the week in Big Six. The winner of this game wins the league. As the weeks progressed and you've done more and more previews, is that still where you're standing with that one?
Yeah, it's just my own opinion. I just think that there's a very fine margin between both teams. We know how good they are. It's coming down to an old-fashioned shootout. I've been saying it all week. I feel like Liverpool have got the momentum. The fans are behind them. They've galvanised the club. They're like a big, well-oiled machine now going into battle. I've been in that situation where I've had that feeling where you must feel now that Liverpool are going to win every game. You've seen them play poorly last few weeks. They're getting the job done. That's a sign of a championship winning side. Manchester City a few weeks ago have slipped. We've let you back in. It's mad how like you lose one game and draw one and they're back in it, but that's how fine the margins are. So the door's open. Liverpool's got the foot in the door. We just got to make sure Sunday we shut the door And I think if we win and we go 4 points clear, I think that'll be enough to take us to the title. And I also think if you win, I don't see you losing another game. I think you'll be that pumped, that high, got a result at the Etihad. I think you'll go on and win it. And you can't argue with it. You know, if any of these two teams win this league, which they are going to do, one of them's going to win it, then who could to argue with it? You know what I mean? We can go on about rivals and shit like that, but at the end of the day, they're the best two teams in the league. We know that. The best two teams in the world, in my opinion, and obviously they're going to battle it out. FA Cup, maybe even the Champions League as well. So it's going to be one of them mad seasons, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what you said there is perfect. Whoever wins this league is going to get respect from the other team. If Man City win this league, you've deserved it. Who are we to say? Because obviously, listen, Liverpool fans, we know how good we are, but at the same time, we've gone through it as City have, ups and downs. But if you come out on top, hats off to you, man. You deserve that. And that will be 4 out of 5 leagues in 5 years for you if you win that. So who's anyone to say that you've not deserved it? But it's the same on the other foot. If Liverpool win this league, I guarantee that you're going to, well, I know you're going to respect it, but other fans are going to have to respect it as well, because if we can finish
anyone that doesn't respect it is either salty or jealous. End of the story. Yeah. I'm a footballing man. I appreciate good football. Beginning of the season, we played Chelsea and Liverpool in the same week. We beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and then we drew 2-2 at Anfield. I went on the show and said, Manchester City and Liverpool are the best two teams in this league by a mile. Yeah. Chelsea aren't good enough. They can't take it to the intensity that Man City and Liverpool can. I went to Stamford Bridge. They're not as confident as they think they are, and Chelsea's going to drop off. I said that when Chelsea were top of the league. And look what's happened to him. But City and Liverpool, the game at Anfield was one of the most enjoyable games I've been for a while. I never really enjoy it as such at Anfield because we never get a result. We have done the last few years, but we went into that game and it literally had everything. The crowd was up, then it was down. And then you've got like Milner probably should have gone. Then you've got Fabinho, who how he doesn't score that when Rodri somehow gets his leg to it. You've got Mo Salah with a moment of brilliance. Then we come back in it, Foden, De Bruyne. And we just came out of the ground and I come out of the ground sort of satisfied. And thought, well, yeah, I'll take that. We've been to Stamford Bridge, beat them, gone to Anfield, got a point. I'm having that. But Sunday, we got a win for me. We've not played that well. But the international break came at the right time. I think we needed it. I think we've got it. We've regrouped. We've got a couple of good results under the belt now. And I think there's no excuses. We've not got Ruben Diaz. In an ideal world, you'd love Ruben in there. We haven't got him. But at the end of the day, no excuses. We've got a great squad. We're at home. And we've got to push our boys over the line, same as you've got to do with your lads.
That's it. Captain Sal saying Big Steve always consistent and fair with his views. And you can't really argue with that. I feel like, yes, it's not an arrogant thing. We are the two best teams in the league by a mile. And it's clear the table doesn't lie. The table does not lie. And this game, this rivalry that is forming or has been formed now for 3 or 4 years, I genuinely think it's the highest standard of a rivalry that the Premier League's ever seen. Yes, we've seen the Fergie and the Wengers. We've seen the Mourinho and the Fergies. No one's putting these numbers on the board consistently. No. I'm talking about no one. So, I mean, this really will go down in history. 6 times here says the fixture is massive. It's like the El Clasico of England. Of course it is. Of course it is. This is the biggest. This is the game that everyone wants to watch in the Premier League. Yes, City United, massive. Liverpool United, massive. Chelsea City, massive. Liverpool Chelsea, massive. But if you're looking for the two best teams that consistently battle it out, and there's literally this much to choose between them, then it has to be this game. Do you think that this is the biggest game in English football now?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We all, obviously, the local derbies and pride means a little bit different. It's about bragging rights and that. We already done the other mob over the road 4-1 the other week.
Easy.
And you know what? We just left them now. They've gone whimpering back under the rock. You won't see them. But with Liverpool, there's more at stake. There's trophies at stake. When you go home and away in Europe all season following a team, you're invested in it. So to come down to the end of the season and potentially miss out and lose to Liverpool, it's going to be a kick in the teeth. we're a bit fortunate at Manchester City. When we've been involved in a close title race, we've always got over the line and won it. So we've always had the good feeling. Where with Liverpool, they've been kicked in the teeth a few times. I think you finished with like 97 points, 98 points, whatever it was, and lost the league. It's unbelievable numbers. And you know, it's one of us is going to be left frustrated. I pray to God it's you. But it's mad, man. It's mad. But you can't lie. And I think it's a true footballing rivalry. I think both managers respect each other. Both managers are pushing each other. Both sets of players respect each other. It's not a nasty rivalry. The games don't get nasty. I think they just get... There's so many battles going on the pitch. Rodri, Fabinho, Trent, Robertson. You know, you've got Bernardo, you've got KDB, you've got Foden. It's just a footballing dream to watch this kind of a game. But the fact that your team's involved in it, my team and your team's involved in it, it's fucking brilliant for me. I love it.
Big up to this comment here, Dennis O'Brien. It's a healthy rivalry where both push each other to the absolute limit. And that is emphasised when you see the likes of Alisson, Edison, Fabinho, Fernandinho all having a barbecue together. You know, let's not forget, they only live half an hour away from each other, these fellas. They're all Brazilian. There's no way you get that, I think, personally, with Liverpool and United players. But Liverpool City, there seems to be this kind of, we know how good you are, you know how good we are, and let's have a good game. Mark Smith here saying his nerves are shot for this game already. If one thing I like...
I'm trying not to peak. It's hard when you've done about 9 streams about it. I'm hard not to peak too early with it. I'm sort of old in the tooth now, so I'm 40 now, and I know how to control my emotions a little bit. But Sunday morning, I will be excited. Not in a good place. I'll be up, breakfast, and then I end up going to the ground, and people say to me, why are you at the ground so early? But I have to feel it. It's weird. I have to feel it in my chest. I can't stand in the house listening to the kids waffling or the missus telling me what she wants to buy or, well, we need a new Uber. I can't deal with that shit when I've got this game. So I have to get up, get my breakfast, get out, and I have to be surrounded by people who are feeling the same energy as me. So I find myself, I don't drink. I find myself in the pub around people just for the energy, not for the beers. And then obviously you got to be around your own people, innit?
Yeah, and you love home and away trips. I've seen you get right amongst it. You're in Madrid on Tuesday. You're at Wembley on Sunday. What is your kind of pre-match routine? You mentioned breakfast there. This one's Sunday 4:30. So what's kind of like for the big games? What's your go-to routine there?
To be honest, I'll just be up early. Like I say, bit of breakfast. Probably have a flick through the TV, see if there's anything on about the game. Then I start to build it up. Then I'll probably have a look on socials, see what people are saying. Don't try and overdo it on there. And then it'll literally just be like, right, get to the ground, probably film a few people having a mooch around the ground, and then just get involved in it. Listen, anyone that ever sees me at the game, I'm on my chair, I'm singing loud and proud. You know, all the young kids did a coach greeting for Madrid. Not really my cup of tea. You boys are better at coach greetings than anyone. So when you're not throwing things. But I went there and just supported the young kids. I thought, you know what, if they're getting involved in it, and you know, I'll go down and that. And no, it's just, it is what it is. It's just a massive game. And so many years we wasn't involved in these big games, City. So it's not relatively new because we're winning trophies.
You're accustomed to it now, though, right? Aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's no excuses now. We some City fans are still stuck in that mentality where it's that typical City, and they can't get away from that. It's just the Man City vibe. I had that vibe, but now, like Champions League games and stuff, when they come up, we're one of the big dogs now. Not many people want to be playing us, so we've got to act like that, innit? Don't be acting like we're Man City in the fucking 90s and we're struggling. Like we're not. We're a different animal now, and we're going into this game with our chest out. Liverpool's going into the game with a chest out. And it's literally just a 50-50 shootout.
Like an old Western.
100%, yeah. And I love it that way. I love it that, listen, would you rather lose the league on a 50-50 shootout with the potential winners, or would you rather get a shithouse goal in the last minute against Spurs and lose 3 points and then lose the league? It's a lot better to take when the champions have done you, innit?
Absolutely. Some great comments here. Big up to Captain Sal. Big Steve is a legend. Boylan saying, if I'm being honest, lads, I just hope the ref doesn't ruin the game. Listen, we can make mistakes, you can make mistakes. But the one thing that we can't truly rely on not to happen is the ref taking over the game, making it about himself, calling some horrendous decisions. Listen, we've probably both been quite fortunate this season with some of the decisions that we've got. Been unfortunate as well. It swings and roundabouts, like you said the other day. But the ref can't be the man of the match here. I don't want to hear anything about the ref at the end of this game, which probably means he's had a good game, if I'm honest. True Don, we're due a victory against City. Last win was in 2019. Both managers have massive respect for each other. They have pushed each other and bring out the best in each other, the two best managers in the world. There's no... When we're talking about managers, I was on Sky Sports News yesterday and they said, is Ten Hag the best manager to come into United? Well, the best two are taken. No one's touching them. And then I think there's a bracket under that. Them two are clear. And then the bracket under that is your Tuchels, your Contes, your Ancelottis, to be fair, Ancelotti might be a bit higher up, maybe Conte as well. But then Ten Hag's maybe just under that. I said there's a pool of maybe 5 or 6 that they could go for, but 5 of them are in work already. So you're kind of left with what's left over, really, which I guess in their heads they'd want to go out and buy the best and get the best. But I don't think it is going to be that way. City and Liverpool will fight it out for seasons to come. Not bad for a team that waited 30 years to win the league, says Gary Richards. 3-1 to Liverpool. Attack. And again, Steve, exactly what we think, is going to think the same for his guys. He's going to think 2-1, 3-1, attack as well. And that's why this game is just unbelievable. Mitch, big up to you. Alex looking resplendent in red. Don't even know what resplendent means, mate, but that's a great word. I like that. Todd Campbell saying Liverpool will lose. Not sure if that is the actual Todd. He's got a picture of Scott McTominay with his middle finger up there, so I'm not sure that's him. If I'm being honest, I hope Liverpool don't pay the VAR. Yeah, whatever. Like the stream for Big Steve. Love Steve's monologue in that Lad Bible video with Robbie. Talk to us about that, bro, because that video, I mean, I knew you before that video, so that video didn't necessarily surprise me, but I'm glad it got put out the way it did, because it paints you in a light which people might not really necessarily relate to Man City fans. So talk to me about that video and how it's kind of, because I know we were talking before and people are coming up to you, shaking your hand about it.
Yeah, listen, that Lad Bible situation, you don't know who you're facing. You go to London, you just basically get put in a pub, one upstairs, one downstairs. They bring you down the stairs and you're literally head to head with somebody. And obviously this time it was Robbie Arsenal. He's one of the biggest about in this YouTube thing. We had an open and honest discussion, but that bit was just basically my way of saying, look, you know, there's people out here crying about meltdowns. And I said to Arsenal, I said, you're the biggest ones for it. You're having a meltdown because your team is 6th in the Premier League. I said, try being 19th in League 2, League 1, relegated, crying on the pitch. And all basically I said to him is, I said, people can call Manchester City all they want, but the footballing journey I've been on can't be bettered. You know what I mean? It can't. To go from Barnsley to the Burnabout, to go from thinking you're going out of business, going down to Main Road, buying shirts and kits because you're trying to give the club money, to where we are now. It's dreamland, and people can throw stones, but everybody, my argument was, everybody wants it. Everybody's sat in front of the telly on transfer deadline day begging for their teams to spend money. Soon as they're linked with a sheikh, you've got grown-ass men dressed in robes outside stadiums like Newcastle begging for it. Man United are even begging for it. But at the end of the day, because it's Man City, it's not that fashionable. But all I'm saying is I've lived it. If I written a book from Barnsley to the Burnabout, don't trademark it because that's my book. It's
get on it quick, bro. Get the paper on that.
It'll be a bestseller, man, because I've seen both sides of the coin, and I don't frown upon it or try and be cocky. People say, "Oh, he's arrogant." It's not arrogant, mate. I'm blessed. I'm privileged because I've seen the rough side. You see fans saying, "I'm not going to watch Man United anymore. The shit and the 4th." Imagine if Man United had a meltdown like we had. Imagine if they was in League 2. How many fans would they be getting? Them 350 coaches from Scandinavia won't be anywhere near it, mate. I'm telling you. So at the end of the day, it was just my way of getting a point across. It wasn't scripted. It just came from the chest. And I think people really appreciated that and thought, you know what? There is some Man City fans out there that have jumped on the bandwagon. You get that with everyone. Liverpool get that now. We've got it. But there is the Manchester City fans that were there in the shit times, the good times, the real ones that stuck by the club, didn't moan. And hopefully one day something like this would happen. And for us, it happened. We won the lottery and we're taking it. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you know, it's beyond the wildest dreams. I never frown on a cup final. I never frown on a Wembley appearance because it can be snatched away from you tomorrow. Yeah. So, yeah, we're on a good journey. The City fans, the ones that have been there through thick and thin, deserve it. And it's games like this that is what we dreamed of. So I love it.
We love to see it, man. We love to see it. Big up to the City fans involved in the stream as well. Sean Fogarty is going for a 2-1.
He's a good lad, Sean. He's a good supporter, Sean.
Good up, Sean, man. 2-1 to City, he reckons. Marshall, good morning. Alex, Steve, two of my favourite football YouTubers. We love to see it. To be honest, the word YouTubers, I'm still getting used to having that thrown at me, and I'm sure Steve is as well, because
it's a bit mad.
We've been around here before YouTube, but it is what it is. I hope I see the best two football teams on Sunday, since we are the two top teams, says Jody. Put some respect on to the existing City supporters before 2009. Let me take you back, Steve, as well, to the mid-90s. Oasis, top of the charts, the best band, I think, since the Beatles. Unbelievable. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Oasis. I've got a 6-foot poster of them in my room. So if anyone tries to put them with City and says Liverpool fans can't, that's a load of rubbish. Scousers all around Liverpool will tell you how great Oasis is. Talk to me about the time when you met Liam Gallagher, because I've got a story as well of when I've met him, and it definitely wasn't as good as your one. So let's get into that, because it was at this final, right?
Yeah, it was at the final. Obviously, there was COVID restrictions and that, and City were trying to get everyone on chartered flights, but we'd already booked a trip. So basically, we said, "Look, can we get our ticket?" And it was like, "No, you need to come on the chartered flight." I was like, "Well, I don't want to go on the chartered flight. I'm going to Portugal for a week. I need a ticket." So they released a limited amount of tickets, but they were Class A tickets. So they were 540 quid face value. So I thought, fucking hell, they've had me over here. So anyway, we bought them and we flew out there. And we got to the stadium and we was in sort of like, it was like a bit of a mixed zone. So you could see Kevin De Bruyne's wife, Aguero's kids, things all around us and that, and a few Chelsea fans. And you're thinking, fucking hell, here we go. And then I literally turned round just before the game and Liam Gallagher, he stood the seat behind me. So I just was like, fucking hell, Liam, how's it going? And he went, I'm glad to see you with a City shirt on. And anyway, he gave me a cuddle and he kissed my head and that. We had a load of pictures. And we had a good chat, man. We had a really good chat. And he's, you know what? He's a real down-to-earth guy. And he was proper on the game. And some Chelsea fans tried to harass him. He was after having a bit of a scrap. He was just Liam Gallagher. It's just everything you expect from Liam. It was Liam, but he's a proper blue man. And you know what? He was sound, and he sort of. I always look back to that Champions League night, and I'm gutted that we didn't win it. But I always think, what if we win the European Cup that night, and I'm celebrating in the stand with Liam Gallagher? Because he'd have been all over us, mate. Because we were the only City fans near him, so he'd have been diving on us. We'd have been partying with him. It would have just been mental, man.
I dare to think.
Top pictures. You've seen the picture of him kissing me head and that.
I've seen it. It's beautiful. Even I was like, that is a beautiful picture. Because
his brother Paul. Yeah. I'm doing a podcast with Paul soon.
Oh, I love that.
So I met Paul that night as well. So Paul's doing a podcast with me soon, and his son Gene, he follows me as well from that night. So yeah, I'm trying to get in with the Gallaghers, man. So Liam, if you watch it.
What about
let's have a fight. I mean, listen, I love them both. But Noel's, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Liam, because when I watched the Liam Gallagher documentary and you realise that Liam was struggling a bit, whether it's true or not, and he reckons he reached out to Noel and he sort of shunned him. I can't, you know, it could have gone a bit nasty for Liam there. He could have gone down a dark road, which we don't want to think about. So the fact he's bounced back, the fact he's got with his missus, and the fact he's now selling out Nebworth. I'm going to Nebworth, by the way, and then the Etihad and that. I just got to think to myself, yeah, man, Liam Gallagher, man, he's just one of the boys, isn't it? You can kick him when he's down, but he's rising up. And I respect them both, the great musicians, and I hope that one day, I seen a video the other day of Noel listening to Liam's new tune, and he was bigging it up, going, he's still fucking got it, man. Liam's still got it. And I thought, there's hope, man. So when I speak to Paul Gallagher on the podcast, yeah, I'm not going to overdo it with the Oasis thing because Paul's his own man and he's a big blue. But I am going to touch on that and maybe I can get an exclusive or I can get a feel out of it. To see
mate, that could go viral, that chat.
Mate, I'll tell you, mate, Paul's a good kid, man. He's a good kid and I'm trying to get him on.
I've met Paul. So my missus, she used to live in, up until we moved here last July, she lived in Highgate in a nice road. I won't say the road, but it was on the same. There was a nice block of flats at the end of the road, and then if you go up, that's where we were. But if you go up the road, Arteta lived there, Ozil lived 5 doors down, and Paul Gallagher lives in East Finchley, I think it is, and Liam lived in Highgate, and they would do this walk up this road to get to the Hampstead Heath.
Yeah,
and I'm standing at the window, and listen, mate, I'm obsessed with Liam Gallagher and Oasis. Like I wanted to be him, as we all did. And we were waiting for some friends, and my missus said, "Oh, is Vienna here yet? Look out the window." I said, and I was eating cereal. I went, "No, Vienna's not here, but Liam and fucking Paul Gallagher are walking past." And I've gone, "Oh my God, that's mad." And then the next day they walked past again. So this was, and I remember the day, it was the day we bought Thiago. This was September 2020, lockdown. And we just got back from Tenerife. We had to do 2 weeks isolation. And after 10 days, my missus went, "You need to get out, do some exercise or something, because you're in here, you're like all bunged up." And I was like, fuck it, fuck this isolation, I'm getting out. So I'm on the Hampstead Heath, I'm on this bike, and if you've been to the Heath at Kenwood House, Liam Gallagher runs there all the time. That's where he does his interviews and stuff, on the Kenwood House. And coincidentally, I'm on this bike looking, because it's the best view of London up there. You look at it and you can just stand there for minutes and take it in. And I'm looking at it. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. And I said to myself, coincidentally, I wonder if Liam's around here this morning. I'm on my bike and I've gone, "Sorry, mate." Physically, my wheel has bumped into him. And I've gone, "Sorry, mate." And it's fucking Liam Gallagher. He's with his brother, Paul. And Steve, I'm so embarrassed by this, yeah. But what came out of my mouth was, "I fucking love you, mate." Like a right little knob. And I've gone, and he's gone, "Yeah, all right, mate, yeah." And I've gone, "Can I get?" And I've still got my hands on the fucking the handles of this bike, Boris bike, and I've gone, "Can I get a picture?" Like that, like a proper weirdo. And him and his brother Paul, he's kind of walked off and gone, "Oh, it's a bit early for that, mate. You know, I'm out and about and that." And I went, "All right, sweet." And then him and Paul have walked off, and he's turned around because I'm still standing there like that. And he's gone, and he was looking at me as if I was going to start riding after him and say, "Come on, let's have a picture." But I left it, called my sister up because she's got an even better story. She was at Crouch Fest at the O2 a couple of years ago, and her boyfriend's in a band called Loner. And the lead singer of Loner is John Clancy, who's Abby Clancy's little brother, married to Crouch.
Yeah.
And Liam was there. So my sister and her boyfriend are in the green room, and Liam bowls in with Debbie. And there's a bottle of tequila on the table. And my sister, Sammy, he goes, "What's your name tonight?" She goes, "Oh, Sammy, I'm a massive fan." He goes, "Yeah, I don't want to know about that. Just get that fucking tequila open, Sammy. Let's have a fucking shot." Like that. So my sister is opening tequila like that, pouring a shot out for her, Debbie, and doing that with Liam. And then he does his gig and he comes out and he goes, "Fucking hell, I forgot my fags. Sammy, do you smoke?" And my sister was like, "Yeah, I do." And he goes, "What have you got though?" She went, "Marlboro Light." She went, "Fucking yes, none of that menthol shine."
Nah, man, he's a good geezer, man. He's got a good energy about him as well. And yeah, it was a good moment to see him and that. And I actually had my 40th party, and my friend got the picture made into a big, plastic picture, like that goes on standoff clips, you know, on the wall.
Yeah.
Really smart picture and that. But yeah, man, Liam's a good guy, man. I'm looking forward to Nebworth as well. It's going to be madness.
Oh, mate, that is going to be, 96. I've got the ticket blown up in a 6-foot poster of that. Unbelievable. I can't wait to see the videos from that. Liam and Noel, royalty in Manchester. Not going to lie, I'd have done the same, but with Noel rather than Liam. Some other great comments here as well, to be honest, about Liam and Noel. Steve Smile is very smiley, good guy, he says. Love to see it. Steve, I have to give it to you though. City ain't like PSG, of course not. Big up AGT and Steve. Right then, and look at this as well, by the way. Niall Kane, Manchester United fan. Love both your channels. I'm going for 3-2 Liverpool. Can't choose who I want to win from a United point of view. and my heart is saying 3-2 to the Kop TV. Big up. Right, let's get into the the combined 11. In goal.
Yeah.
Where are we going with
this? Depends how we want to play, innit? If we want to play out from the back, and we play our way, and then there's only one man in it, Edison.
Do you know what? If you ask 100 football fans, I reckon it's about 50-50.
Oh, listen, Alisson, for me,
he's a
better goalkeeper. Alisson's a better goalkeeper when it comes to goalkeeper stuff, like shot stopping, you know what I mean, saving it and that one-on-one. But Edison, for what we need, is the best in the world for us, obviously. He's starting this new trend now in the Premier League where they're all trying to play out from the back. They're all trying to play like Edison. I mean, for a goalkeeper to do these assists and these long balls and stuff, it's mad. So it really is a 50-50. To save the arguing, because we're on your channel, I'll let you have Alisson, because I like Alisson as a goalkeeper as well.
He loves a barbecue as well, does our Alisson. He loves it. Alisson,
the battling out for the Golden Gloves.
That's it.
When we talk about Alisson being picked for Brazil, that's because of the style of Brazil play, innit?
No, he's saying Edison gets picked for Brazil.
No, well, Alisson does most time. Edison doesn't really. Edison doesn't play. I think it's Alisson plays more than him.
6 times going for Alisson as well. If there was one right back in the league that I would say that as an attacking fullback I'm the most worried about is Kyle Walker. I think he's clear of Reece James. Obviously, he's got the years on him, but I think Trent and Kyle Walker, for me, are the best 2 right backs in the league. And again, we could say every position, it's a 50-50 shootout, really, I think.
Trent's a lot better getting forward, and he's got a better delivery than Kyle. Kyle hits more fucking people in row Z with his crosses than anything. But when you come into defending or you get caught on a counter-attack, there's nobody you want more than Kyle Walker because of his pace.
He's rapid.
You know what I mean? And stuff. He's very underrated.
Even Sean, as the biggest City fan here, to interrupt you there, bro, he said, even as a City fan, I go for Trent.
No, I would go for Trent. I'd go for Trent. In the way we're playing this season, I'd go for Trent at right back. But you're not having the left back.
Well, we'll get to that. In the middle, difficult as well, man. I think, listen, obviously Van Dijk slots in. And if he was playing tomorrow or Sunday, Ruben Diaz slots in as well. But
yeah, I'd go. It'd be Van Dijk and Diaz for me if everyone was fit.
So are you giving me Matip then? Yeah.
No, we're gonna pretend Diaz is fit, and we're gonna put Diaz in.
All right, listen. For the argument, we'll put Diaz in, and at left back, it's neck and neck between Cancelo and Robertson. I'm so surprised as well. I mean, when you've heard about all the Mendy stuff and what a disgrace of a person he is, by the way, allegedly, I should say.
Yeah.
He's never playing football again. So you've had to have another person that comes in who naturally isn't a left-sided player. But I have to take my hat off and say, João Cancelo, one of the players of the season, in terms of like passes, I think he's made the most passes in the league, gets the most touches on the ball. For someone who isn't a left-footed left-back, like a Robertson, who you actually expect really to be getting up and down, crossing. Because trust me, when you're a right-footer, people are looking at you play on the left-back going, all he's going to do is cut in and put it in on his right. But somehow you still can't stop it with Cancelo. So again, this is a 50-50. And everyone in the comments is saying another tough one. You've got Robbo, you've got Cancelo there. You've got Robbo is the natural left back, but Cancelo is class. You've got Tsimikas thrown in there as well. I'm going to let you choose on this one. Because I know you're on.
Yeah, I like Robertson. I think he's great. I remember seeing him playing for Hull at the time. We went to City, played Hull away, and my friend actually said to me, really like this fucking fullback Robertson. Didn't take much notice of him at the time. Just thought he was talking shit, and but he proved right. I do like him, but Cancelo, I think, this season he's come in. He's been absolutely outstanding to be playing left back when you're really a right back. But I'm gonna give it to Cancelo.
Yeah,
so then back four's pretty even. You've got Van Dijk and Trent on one side, Diaz and Cancelo on the other side. Can you actually imagine that back four?
Oof. That would literally not concede goals.
That's just crazy. Could you imagine Van Dijk and Diaz as centre halves? How are you getting past them?
Cheat code, genuinely. I mean, you've seen it already with Van Dijk. Players will get the ball, they look up and see it's him, they just stop running. They go, there's no point. What's the point? I can't get around him. And the same with Diaz, the effect that he's had since he's come in. I mean,
are we going 4-3-3 this formation?
Yeah, I think we should, because that's what we both do. So in the middle, Steve again, man. Rodri or Fabinho. What do we do here? Because this is just. But this is the great thing about these teams. You can't fucking split them, man.
I know.
I
think Rodri's had a great season for us, and he's a massive part of what we do. Obviously, with KDB and Bernardo and that pushing forward, they leave him exposed. But he's been a unit this season. Last season, not the greatest. This season, good. It's literally 50-50. I love Fabinho as well. He does exactly the same job. This is why I think the game on Sunday, this battle in the midfield, could be taster.
Yeah, big up to Ravi saying smash a like and please subscribe to the Kop TV and Big Steve MCFC. He is maybe 200 away from hitting that 10K. So there's no doubt that he'll get that on Sunday. But let's try and get him there before Sunday as well. Do you know what? I'm going to go with Fab because for me, he's added goals to his game, Steve, this season. I think he's on 8 now for the season. And for someone who is a CDM, I don't really think we've seen that, really. I mean, I can't remember Xabi Alonso scoring 8. I can't remember Mascherano scoring 8. So for the goals aspect, I'm going to put Fab in. But there's absolutely no doubt in the next name on this team sheet, which is, of course, KDB. Again, what can I say that hasn't already been said, bro?
Yeah, he's quality, mate. He's probably the best in Europe for me at the minute.
He's the best midfielder in the world right now.
And quality,
people say Europe. Europe is the world, really, isn't it? If we're talking about football.
Some people take the piss. Saeed, listen to this. Beginning of the season, Paul Pogba started the season, and I think the first game, I think he scored a couple of goals or he got so many assists or something. And we had a bet that Kevin De Bruyne has a better season than Pogba. So he's got to now take me to Fazenda in Manchester, for a meal, and he's got to wear a ginger Kevin De Bruyne wig while he's eating his meal.
Wow.
This guy, why would you even put Paul Pogba up against the greatest, man?
Definitely not this season, anyway. Definitely not.
And he's coming into form now, KDB, at the right time.
And do you know who KDB supported as a kid?
Yeah, I've seen the interview with the Liverpool. He found sense, though. He found sense in it.
Yeah, he found sense when he saw that paycheck, trust me. But I know he was a big fan of Michael Owen, strangely, back in the day. Yeah. I think Sergio Aguero was a big fan of Michael Owen as well, if I'm honest, Steve.
I met Michael Owen once. Strange guy, man. Strange guy.
Yeah, man, obviously. Big Steve, great Man City fan. Yeah, man, of course. It's great, really. But yeah, weird guy. My mum, you know what? My mum met him once when he was, I think he was at Newcastle at a Harvey Nichols event. And she said, "Hey, Michael, when you coming back to Liverpool?" And do you know what he said in the most Michael Owen way possible? He went, "You signed the football." He went, "You've got to pay for quality." And it's like,
fucking hell, yeah, that's him to a team. That is him to a team.
Got to pay for quality. Mitchell saying Saeed would suit a ginger wig. Not gonna lie, we need pics of Saeed in the ginger wig. I'm sure Steve will be taking
100%. Mate, I'll be filming that.
Yeah, filming videos, all of it. Right, we've got one more midfielder to put in.
So who are you throwing in?
I'm gonna chuck Thiago into the mix because, and again, I stand by this statement. Thiago is one of the best signings Liverpool has ever made, and what I mean by that is I don't think there's ever been a signing for us where we've made the signing at a point where that player has already achieved everything in the game. Yes, we've bought Suarez, Torres, or Coutinho, but we made them who they were. With Thiago, he's been there and done it with Barca. He's been there and done it with Bayern. He was the man of the match in the Champions League final when Bayern won it 2 years ago. And then we signed him. And yes, of course, he took a while to set in. There was injuries. But Steve, you look at this fella, the technique on him, the passes that he finds, it's simply unbelievable. And I genuinely will say this and stand by it again. He is technically, I'm talking about on the ball, technical ability, chest, ping it 60 yards on the half volley. He's technically our best player in the whole club. Genuinely.
No, I get that. I've got to throw Bernardo Silva in. I think he's had a
throw that name in.
I think he's had a fantastic season. I think early on in the season he was magic. You know what I mean? He was hitting the numbers, scoring the goals, assists. And look, I mean, you guys don't like Bernardo because of the cup of tea thing, but I've got to get Bernardo in there. I think because I think you're going to be top heavy in the strike force. So I've got to get him in.
I'll give you Bernardo. I mean, not the biggest fan of his after he didn't kind of clap the which I don't think was right, Steve. I will say I don't think that was right.
No, it's not. It was a bit strange, to be honest. I don't think it went down well at City, to be honest. I think the kids like it, but I think anyone who's a footballing man, it's a bit shitty that you need to you clap a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm sure if it was the other way around, you wouldn't see any Liverpool player. I'm sure Klopp would actually tell them, if I see any of you not clapping, you're getting it, because it's a sign of disrespect, and I didn't like that.
Yeah. Of course it is.
But yeah, big up. We'll have Bernardo in there then, and then I think Steve already knows what's going to happen up front. Who do you want to pick? Really, I'll leave this to you. Who do you want free up front? You pick them.
I would probably go Salah on the right, Foden on the left. Take your pick in the middle.
Go on, I'll give you Foden because he comes on the other night. He changes the game. Massive goal at Anfield last year and the year before. Foden is genuinely, I think.
Riyad Mahrez is having a fantastic season. Riyad's having a great season. Don't get me wrong; he's having a really good season.
Found some form as well, so you know that.
Yeah, I just think if it's me personally, my team, I'm having Salah on one side, Foden on the other side, and then listen, the season he's having, the goals he's scoring. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that.
Season. Yeah, 20 goals.
We don't have anyone there. False nines.
I know, and he's made such a point of sticking with it, which is unbelievable. So listen, we'll go back through the team. Alisson in goal, Trent, Van Dijk, Diaz, Cancelo. In the middle, of course, Flacco, Fabinho. We've got KDB, the best midfielder in the world right now, without any question, really. We've got Bernardo in there as well. And then up front, Foden on the left, Salah on the right, and we will go with Diogo Jota up top in through the middle, even though Mane's actually been playing through the middle the last couple of games and done fairly well. Big goal away. And Diaz as well, you have to chuck that name in the mix. Yes, maybe not right now, but Steve, I tell you what, mate, I am, and I'm sure you'd be the same if you signed for City. This guy's different, bro. This guy.
He's good. He's good signing. He's doing the business, yeah. Doing the business. He's a good player. Looks like he's been playing in the Premier League for years, so that's what you want, isn't it?
Big up kind of thing says Jota wants scruffy player, brethren. How has he got to... Do you know what? He masks 5 out of 10 performances with 2 goals every week. It's unbelievable. Is Kyle Walker fit, says Bailey?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can expect to see him. Right, I think Liverpool maybe just nick it. What's that? We've got Diaz, Cancelo, Foden, De Bruyne, Bernardo, and 6 Liverpool players. So listen, that's fair enough. You can't argue with that. Just to remind you guys, as always, just before we wrap up, I know Big Steve and myself have got other stuff to do. This is, of course, sponsored by Manscaped. Please, if you are going to trust yourself down there, up here, there is only one company you should be using to do this job. Of course, you can get down boots and get your Phillipses and your Kensingtons or whatever it's called, Kenningtons. You're going to get cut. And Steve, as you know, this thing will not cut you. Here, down there, you've got the ball toner. Treat yourself. Self-care, if anything. You know, you've got the ball deodorant there as well. Care for yourself, and then others will care for you.
You can't beat cleanly shaven conkers.
You can't. Honestly, you feel like the man when you walk out. Of
course it is, mate. Excuse
my French, but it is the bollocks. It's the dog's bollocks.
Have you ever seen the film The Labyrinth with David Bowie?
I haven't, but I've.
You need to watch that.
Film,
David Bowie in the film, he has 2 shiny balls and he spins them around his hand. And honestly, when I used a Manscaped lawnmower, I literally felt like David Bowie in Labyrinth. So Google David Bowie in Labyrinth, and that's what the feeling you're going to get. You're going to be bouncing around your local pub at weekend like the Goblin King.
I don't think Manscaped have ever had that in an ad before, but listen, we've got it in there now.
Manscaped, you need to holler at me, Big Steve. You know what I mean? Nobody's advertising your conker
I'll
cutters.
sort that out, Steve. I'll give you the guy's email straight after this.
Conker cutters better than me, mate. I tell you, when they know Big Steve's got the best conkers in town, all due to Manscaped and the ball toner.
You know what? You deserve a brand deal for that ad alone. And do you know what? Genuinely, I've got the guy's email. I'm going to send you it after this, bro. Because we need to get that channel to 10K as soon as possible. Right. We'll leave it on with this. May the best team win on Sunday, Steve. May the best team win. Like I said, please set notifications on for the Kop TV. We're going to have amazing content throughout the week. And of course, next week, we'll be doing this again. Steve will be back on the channel for the semi-final preview. And listen, if we go all the way to the finals, both of us in the Champions League, then we're going to have to link up and do something for that in person, bro, because that's next level.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Yeah, I'll be out there.
People, man. This is ground control to Major Steve to finish us off there from Liverpool. Steve, thank you so much for coming on, bro. I know you've been on so many streams. We've had a great chat before and after and during. Have a good one, and we'll see you on Monday. We'll be chatting about this on Monday, for no doubt.
See you later, guys.
Man. In a bit, bro. Take care. Right, there you go. Big Steve. He's got to get off now. It's been an absolute pleasure having him on, as always, on the channel. Remember, the Kop TV for 20% off your Manscaped Ultimate Package. You get free shipping with that as well. What more can you ask for? We're talking about shiny balls, but who is going to be on top on Sunday? Let us know in the comments. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Whoa. Just before you go,
don't forget, give us a like, drop us a comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous stand.